Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at all of these new lovely promo cards. You see, ladies and gentlemen, over in Japan, every so often they release a new set of Pokemon gym promos, and you go along to tournaments over in Japan, you get yourself those promos, life is good. Well, they've gone and done that again, so we have a brand new Pokemon V, we have a brand new trainer card, in this case a supporter, we have one of a brand new card, and a couple of reprints with which to finish off. So, let's start off with the nice brand new Pokemon V. It is Ursaluna V, which is kind of cool. Ursaluna's getting some love. Is it any good? Well, we don't usually expect much from the gym promo Pokemon V. Maybe today can be the exception. I should mention translations do come from the lovely Antoine Boulet here, which you probably already knew, but it's nice to have it confirmed, right? So what we've got here is 230 HP, which is high. Generally speaking, your Pokemon V only really go up to 220, so 230 is very high. That is an excellent start. We are a fighting Pokemon, which means hitting a really good weakness against stuff like Arceus V-Star, like Gengar V-Max are the two of the very best attackers in the game right now, which is very, very cool. And we've got a rather lovely ability that says damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 30. It's not a reason to play the card. It is a handy bonus, though. Like, I'm not going to sit here and actually argue with you that this is great. It's not. But you're starting off with 230 HP to begin with. Then you've got this, and at least until we hit the rotation, we got Stone Fighting Energy, which reduces damage done to you by another 20 per Stone Fighting Energy. And you're a basic Pokemon, so you can always use stuff like Cape of Toughness. Again, only till rotation, but we still got it until rotation. And actually, this HP, plus the ability, plus Cape of Toughness, especially if you add a couple of Stone Fighting Energy on there, you can get a really, really beefy Pokemon rolling here. Again, I don't know if it's enough reason to play the card, but make no mistake about it, you can make a very big beefy Pokemon that can stand up to a couple of hits here. What does it do in terms of attacks? Well, the bad news is it's free Fighting Energy, which is a slightly awkward attack cost. The good news is you deal 220 damage, which is the right amount to KO pretty much any Pokemon V, except, funnily enough, opposing Ursaluna. And the bad news is that, unfortunately, it does 10 damage less for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So, honestly, you kind of need to be clean for this. As soon as you take, like, 30 damage, which really isn't a lot, you're going to find yourself struggling to one-hit KO Pokemon Vs, and at that stage you're out, yeah? If you're putting free Fighting Energy onto this Pokemon and you're not getting a one-hit KO on Pokemon Vs, you might as well stop. This isn't working. So essentially what we're going to be doing here is taking advantage of things like Stone Fighting Energy, of that ability, hoping that we can keep ourselves completely clean for, just a few moments, and then go from there. And you know what? Yeah, that could absolutely work. Now, as for the free Fighting Energy, that's not ideal. We've still got B until the rotation, and B gets bonus points here, because B accelerates any energy you find from the top 5 cards of your deck to your bench fighting Pokemon, and that does include Stone Fighting Energy. It's the Pokemon you're looking at, not the energy. So B can help you get that Stone Fighting Energy. That's awesome. And you've got that Gritty Pickaxe I keep showing you, lets you look at the top card of your deck. If it's a Fighting Energy, attach it to one of your fighting Pokemon. If it's not, put it in your hand. So it's a draw one if nothing else. So we can get the energy on, and we've got a fair bunch of survivability, and we're doing a decent amount of damage. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. You know what? I really like this. And the really thing that puts me off here is the fact that you got to take 10 damage off for every damage counter on the Pokemon. I do think after a while that might add up, and that's genuinely sad. But until we get to that stage, yeah, this could be awesome. Now, I did promise you a new supporter card. We've got one here. It's Professor Laventon. Now, this one's interesting to me. Because remember, we've been getting Professor's research. And the professor from Sword and Shield was Professor Magnolia. We got Professor's Research. And the professor from Diamond and Pearl, we've just had the remake, is Professor Rowan. We got Professor's Research. Here we get our own card rather than getting a Professor's Research, which is interesting. Although we've got, Professor's Research going to survive the rotation anyway, so it's really not the end of the world. And what you do is you choose up to 3 Pokemon with Hisuian in their name from your discard pile, show them to your opponent, and put them into your hand. Cool. And this is another one that is going to be very interesting, because of course we saw this for a Alolan Pokemon. It was Ether Foundation Employee, and it was exactly the same card, but for a Alolan Pokemon. Put 3 Pokemon that have Alolan in their names from your discard pile into your hand. Exactly the same kind of thing. So, yeah. It's that. And essentially, the answer is here as it was for Ether Foundation Employee. Do you want to be playing a deck that is reliant on Hisuian Pokemon? If the answer is yes, great news. If the answer is no, ignore this card, ladies and gentlemen. Ignore this card very, very hard. And I do need to mention, as a fun little side note, Ether Foundation Employee was, and I did double check this over on Bulbapedia, really good website, because I wanted to make sure before I told you, this was a gym promo back in the day. How cool is that? This is a gym promo 4 years ago in March and April 2018. Exactly 4 years later, this comes back for Hisuian Pokemon. I love this, ladies and gentlemen. This makes me very happy. I do also need to mention, it says Pokemon, so you can get Pokemon V, which is lovely. But they don't all count. So, for instance, when I showed you Ursaluna V a moment ago, it's called Ursaluna V. It's not called Hisuian Ursaluna V. Same thing with the regular Ursaluna from the set. It's not called Hisuian Ursaluna. It is just called Ursaluna. That is very, very important. So yeah, kind of be aware of that, ladies and gentlemen, because that could end up being a pretty big deal, if I'm honest with you. One that absolutely will count, however, is the Hisuian Basculin. It is a brand new Basculin. Now, 50 HP is terrible. 2 colorless energy, 20 damage is terrible. I'll be honest with you right now, we're not loving this like we could. However, for 1 colorless energy, you've got Crawl Undercover. You can use this attack only if you go second and only on your first turn. But during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. Yeah, call them in. That's amazing. I'm totally down with this. This works. This is brilliant. Because, you know what, if I'm playing a Basculegion deck, and remember this is Hisuian Basculin, so you will need Basculegion. If I'm playing a Basculegion deck, now or at any point before this rotates out, having this little bit of survivability on the front, yes. Obviously, that's brilliant. I love it. Go team, ladies and gentlemen. Go team. It's very much an evolving Pokemon. You're only going to use it if you're playing a Basculegion deck anyway. But if you are playing a Basculegion deck anyway, this one will work very nicely indeed. So we've got our new Pokemon V, we've got our new supporter card, we've got our new Pokemon, we've then just got a quartet of reprints. So the Pawniard I showed you the other day, that's coming back. Remember I told you that the Bisharp has got that amazing attack, which is exactly the same as the old Gyarados? I really like this. It's annoying, I wish I had 70 HP, but at some point this is going to be the only one we've got, and it's, I like this art better than I like the other art, frankly. I think it's cool. Togetic is also a very relevant Pokemon here. Remember, that's the one that when you evolve into it, you heal 30. We got the whole evolution line that heals when you play them. This is, I don't have a real strong opinion, honestly, art-wise either way. I think they're both pretty adorable. But this one, evolve into it, heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. Yeah, sounds good to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds good to me. We've then got the Cricketot, and I'm very proud to say I translated this one all by my lonesome, And it's single energy, 10 damage, flip a coin, if heads, you deal 20 more damage. And I know that's not a really hard card to translate, I don't care. I did it all on my lonesome, and I'm very proud of myself. I do actually much prefer the other artwork though, so sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Although to be fair, this is actually a really adorable card, so either way, it's lovely. And then we finish off with a little bit of Granados here, which I'm pretty sure is mocking me, because this is the one Pokemon. You might have seen me moaning about this over on Twitter. This is the one Pokemon I could not find myself over in the game. When I was actually going through the game, could not find this dude, because it's only available in time-space distortions and only in one area, and I just couldn't get a time-space distortion going, and that's really annoying. But I got it eventually, and life is good. Is the card any good? Well, single energy, 20 damage, no. And then I translated Kricketot, which means I can translate this one, because it's flip a coin, if heads, 40 more damage. 80 damage for 2 energy isn't terrible, but these are evolving Pokemon. Let's not pretend they're going to be game-breaking or terribly exciting. They are as they are, quite frankly. They're lovely reprints, and honestly here, the only thing we should be worried about is the artwork. So there we go. I like Ursaluna a lot more than I was expecting to. I do think there is a little bit of potential with our supporter here, and that Basculin could end up being good if we ever get a good enough partner. For now, I want to know what you think about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.